shake his hand, 'cause the government rules all across this land. We understand to love the man. Cops are cool, white, fat, and dumb. Republican, making bombs and guns in the name of God. Ass-kissed fat cat, dumb Democrats. Oh, silly Billy, don't do that on Capitol Hill. But he with the money makes the rules. The land of the free, don't be fooled. You can do what you want, it's cool. But good goddamn, Uncle Sam got his hands on my contraband. Good goddamn, Uncle Sam, and this land I now make grand. Nick Taco Bell, Pepsi Coke, hell, well I can't tell. The corporate Joe, so Philip M. and RJ Red will never end until we all choke. Who's in the lead of the race called greed? Fight the hands that feed. Know it's wrong. We'll ask the chief. Let's take out that reef. We'll grow the beef when the jungle's gone. But he with the money makes the rules. The land of the free, don't be fooled. You can do what you want, it's cool. But good goddamn, Uncle Sam got his hands on my contraband. Good goddamn, Uncle Sam, and this land is now named brand. Good goddamn, Uncle Sam, I'm the fryer in the frying pan. Good goddamn, Uncle Sam, he can do it, but I can't. Good goddamn, Uncle Sam, fight the power, fight the man, and it's all join hands and fight the man. Yeah. Good goddamn, Uncle Sam. Good goddamn, Uncle Sam. Good goddamn, Uncle Sam. Good goddamn Sam.
Got his hands on contraband. Good goddamn, Uncle Sam got his hands on my contraband. I'd like to say you heard it here first. That is Orlo Billingsley. Good goddamn. You will definitely hear that here again. That is one of our favorites. And really, if you feel like you've been robbed, you're probably feeling right. You're probably not too far from the mark there. All right, we're gonna start out the evening with a little Dao De Ching. Let's see if I.
You gonna throw the bones or the sticks?
Yeah, no, we've already thrown them.
Ah.
They've been thrown. And this is from Book 2, verse, if I know my numerals, Roman numerals right, 68 or so. And it says, one who excels as a warrior does not appear formidable. One who excels in fighting is never roused in anger. One who excels in defeating his enemy does not join issue. One who excels in employing others humbles himself before them. This is known as the virtue of non-contention. This is known as making use of the efforts of others. This is known as matching the sublimity of heaven. Yeah, good words.
Quite nice. Do we have any volume for myself?
Well,
headphone mix, that's it, huh?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, as long as you can hear me, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not going to miss anything you say tonight, George.
Just cut my mic when you don't like it.
Yeah, no, I won't do that. We don't do that here. No. So,
Stone Soup.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
RiverWestRadio.com.
That's right. Let's let people know what they are listening to. The two listeners out there. One of them.
Probably
being-
my mom.
Yeah, and the other one being the video store itself. Well, thank you for listening. If you are catching this live or in a podcast, please let us know what you're thinking.
And there's a phone number.
That's right. There's a phone number, 935-2951. All right, we're getting waves from outside. Good signs here. Good omens for the night.
We have the camera up there.
Yeah,
And you can
yeah,
come by and dance in front of
You
the
can
window.
dance, right? You can dance
It's
in the
a
window.
beautiful thing. It makes the radio show a video show then. Oh, there's people dancing right now.
That's right. We appreciate participation. It's all about community involvement.
Watch your step bag, Grace.
All right. We have more people coming. Guest entering. We probably just
Being
finished.
number 3.
How about microphone
Yeah.
two?
There's a
Well, you got
microphone.
the dick. I'll share
Okay.
this one with Grace.
All right. We're getting all our ducks in a row here. We've got. We just read from the Tao Te Ching. If you know verse 68 from book 2. I'll read it again real quickly in case you didn't catch
So we
it.
just threw the sticks on the ground and
Here.
it came up this. What do they
Yeah.
call those things?
Well, actually, this is how I did it. I took the book, I opened it up and read the first page that was there.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, and it seems somehow it does seem very pertinent. But it says, "One who excels as a warrior does not appear formidable. One who excels in fighting is never roused in anger. One who excels in defeating his enemy does not join issue," which is like a fancy way of saying he doesn't start the fight. "One who excels in employing others humbles himself before them. This is known as the virtue of non-contention. This is known as making use of the efforts of others. This is known as matching the sublimity of heaven." The Tao Te Ching, right?
Pretty heavy, man.
Yeah.
I like it.
By Lao Tzu.
Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu,
Right?
yes.
Is that- he was a Taoist?
How does he know if heaven is sublime or not?
The sublimity. Well, he probably doesn't.
Well,
He
his
just says
concept
matching.
of heaven is different than
So
your
it's a guess.
concept.
Yeah.
It's just a wild guess he's making that he wants us to, take heed from.
No, no.
Well,
heaven.
you know what? Maybe we do know what heaven is. Maybe you do too.
we
don't-
live in it. We're floating in it. His concept of heaven is not the concept of the Christian's heaven.
Well, heaven, yeah, heaven. I mean, is it's sort of just.
Space.
Well, beyond that, our conception of it is like rooted in our very psyche. Our mind is built to think about things like heaven, right? That's what our mind does. It always has from the very beginning. That's what people wondered.
Hardwired, pre-programmed.
What do you mean?
Is
What,
that
you
what
mean
you're
in your
suggesting?
concept of heaven, or what I'm talking about? What's heaven? As a physical thing.
Being, well,
You're talking
for
about a
first,
mythical heaven?
well, yeah. Well, we can talk
I'm
about
talking
that.
about actual heaven.
I'm talking about that too. I'm talking about whatever you want to talk about, George.
Oh no, because you're making a point, and I'm like, our minds.
No,
are
there's
wired-
no point to this, actually. This is a well-rounded conversation.
Oh.
There's no bumps in the road here. It's just
Okay.
Did Mitt Romney and Barack Obama apply those rules to the debate just now?
yeah. Well, as far as being the sublimity of heaven, or
And non-contention.
non-contention, right? No, that.
No, I don't think so. But I did see them make out. That was cool. They were
Yeah.
rolling around on the floor. Candy had to get out of the way. It was like, wow. Finally, we're getting somewhere in America.
Yeah, I think.
If only.
Yeah, and I think that they do in any of those debates, as much as maybe they might want to be at each other's throats once in a while, they don't. And to show anger in one of those debates is a fatal flaw, right? That's a fatal mistake
Yeah.
if you show anger.
Right. Well, and both of the candidates tonight were showing not a lot of love and more just arguments towards one another rather than general sympathetic personalities that people want to parade around. So, you know, if you're just breaking it down like it was a boxing match that, you know, one was victorious over the other. But
It was a boxing match,
It was a
wasn't
boxing match, yeah.
That's what it's like, a psychic boxing match.
Right, but there
And
wasn't.
verbal.
But there wasn't a lot of. Also,
Verbal, psychic, and
yeah. But in a debate, you have to also have some amount of compassion that translates to people really liking personalities in order to effectively win people over.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
And like neither of them really did that. It's just so shit's just so ugly right now that it's just kind of like
it's getting
who's
dirty.
less ugly.
It's
Who's-
almost, yeah.
Who can be more dirty and less ugly?
It's almost like they're resorting to dirty fighting. It's like a bar fight now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And, you know, and in a way, that's what we want to see. You know, according to that verse in the Tao Te Ching, you know, basically the guy that doesn't lose his cool, you know, is probably the guy that's going to be more successful.
But being cool and being not angry are two different things.
Right, and
You
Obama-
can be cool
yeah.
and angry
Yeah.
at the same time.
Cool. Oh yeah, and I think Obama did a good job of that maybe tonight. I thought he
Yeah.
would probably come out a little.
I think he sounded
Little
a
tougher.
lot better.
Yeah.
A little bit too cool though.
Yeah, maybe it's.
He's never been
Is-
anything else but cool like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are gonna talk about all kinds of things for a while, you know, over this debate. And I was thinking it is sort of like a piece of entertainment. You know, you have two entertainers on the stage. It's like, you know, the American Idol. You know, in a way, and it's just like who entertains me more sometimes, or who it is. It's like
Do you find American Idol entertaining?
Now, I don't find the presidential debates that entertaining either,
was
except
my
that
next
it's momentary.
question.
Yeah, since it's very momentary. Yeah, I mean, American Idol was entertaining. I have to admit, you know, that I did.
I want Simon Cowell to moderate the next debates.
Was he a winner? Oh, I'm thinking of the Asian kid that was so far off key, you know, and it was like, but it was really wonderful to watch him because his heart was so into it. It's like he didn't realize how far off key he was, but yet afterwards he became like a sensation, you know, for being so bad. And that's the part I really liked. And I remember watching that vividly. So, you know. Yeah, I guess
If that off-key kid ran for president, how would he do?
right now he might do all right. 'Cause right? It's what I mean. I honestly watched a good part of the debates tonight.
Even though last
And I
week
don't-
you said you wouldn't, but I'm glad you broke that
Yeah,
promise.
yeah, and I don't
I was
see a lot of
curious. I haven't had
distinction.
steak, so I'll
I-
check it out when I get back.
Yeah, I have a hard time sometimes seeing the real distinction between, you know, because both candidates have a plan. I got a 5-point plan. I got a 4-point plan. I got a whatever plan, you know, and it's like, well, I'm for cutting taxes of the middle class. Well, I'm for cutting the taxes of the middle class. Well, I'm for contraception. I'm for contraception too. It's like, you know, the list goes on and on how there's the same and similar.
Does
But
anyone know how many other presidential candidates there are besides Obama and Romney?
Well,
There's
Yeah,
at least
Valley.
3
Yeah.
more.
are there?
I don't know.
Besides
Is it-
us?
Yeah, there's Rocky Anderson.
I'm running for president. They
There's
wouldn't
Rocky
let me on the
Anderson,
debate.
Gary Johnson, and then there's a woman,
Green Party.
Party woman, I forgot her name. Jill Stein.
Ralph Nader?
Well, I heard him do a speech in Berkeley, but he's not running this year.
And you could always vote for the old anarchist favorite, which is nobody, right? Nobody. That's the write-in. There's always a write-in.
Actually, the Yippies
Yeah.
ran nobody in '76.
Did
still
they?
have the button.
Nobody.
Nobody for president, 1976.
They can do no wrong. That could be the motto. They can do no wrong.
And actually, they were actually going to try to run a pig, and he had a name. Oh, what was the name? The pig had a name. But anyway.
1976, one of the candidates was Frank Zeidler, our former mayor of Milwaukee.
For president?
nice.
He ran as a socialist for president, yeah.
Nice.
I know more
Too
about
bad
the-
he didn't win.
I know more about the loser
Well-
candidates in 76 than in 2012. I really don't know any of them. Is there a libertarian running? Is someone trying to?
Yeah, Gary Johnson.
There always is, yeah.
And then there's Rocky Anderson, and then there's.
Is there anyone running who's not in favor of drilling in national
Yeah,
forests?
Obama
More
and,
gas or more
Obama
oil?
and what's his name? Romulan. Oh my God. That's all they were talking about. Drill, drill. I want to make some gas come out the ground.
Production levels have been at their highest since,
And
you
then
know.
he was like, he was like selling it like he was the music man. I was like, oh my goodness, shut up. First off, you can never pay for that gas ever because it costs so much per cubic, whatever it is. It's because of the cost that it
Well, it's
occurs just drilling that stuff. To say that would
Cost
make
more
us.
fossil fuels just to get the fossil
To
fuels.
say that would make us energy
Not to
proficient
mention
is
the
a
bird.
ridiculous argument.
Bird victims.
And they're not even talking
Yeah,
about
the 25
diesel.
birds.
You're not even talking about diesel. You're not even talking about diesel because there's no way America can make diesel.
If you put 25 dead birds in your car engine, how far could you get?
About a mile. And it wouldn't run and you'd have to push it. But I'm just saying, it's ingenuine, this argument.
Well, they don't want you to talk about the environment anymore. Neither side does, because the environment is
we had a
unpopular.
70 mile a gallon carburetor in the 1930s. Where is it? This is a fact. I can prove it. And that's only one invention that was snatched out of our lives. There's tons of file cabinets full of inventions that have been around for God knows when. And they're locked down by the energy corporations. They've raped us, spaped us, plastered us.
Are you running for
nailed us
president?
To the wall. If it must, I must. But I don't think, not this week.
Yeah, and no one does talk about the sublimity of heaven. Neither Obama nor
They talked about
Romney.
their faith in God.
Their faith, did they?
Romney did for sure. Did Obama bring up faith tonight? He usually does.
Hopefully not.
Usually you're a loser if you
He
don't
brought
bring
up his
that
mom.
He did bring up his
Yeah.
mom.
Which is
It
a
was
touching.
it was a smart move when he was talking about women, though.
It is a touching tale.
Unlike Mitt Romney, who knows a couple women who he recruited to be in his cabinet.
That's right. He's all for, let's find a woman out there that can do the same job as a guy. Isn't there a woman that can do this?
It was hard. It was really hard, but he
Yeah.
found them. And he
Yeah.
let them leave before 7
Yeah.
p.m. so they could
Yeah.
feed their children.
But,
Yeah, so they could breastfeed.
Obama made a beautiful note when he said that. Oh, what did he say? Well, I'll get back to it. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're not interrupting, George.
No, but I could.
On the women thing, when he talked about his daughters, and, making as much money as anybody's sons. Because there weren't that many beautiful moments in the debate, so I should be able to remember the one beautiful moment. Because really, it was mostly an ugly, dirty fest.
Yeah.
Is that a phone for the back? They have a separate phone in
Probably.
the back?
Whoever it is probably trying to call us.
Hello?
Is this a
Must be.
campaign operative? Someone trying to
Please
spam?
make
check
a phone
the number and call later.
It seems like it's just natural.
Well, the real debate doesn't start until after the debate, when the people
Yeah.
debate about who won the debate.
Right,
That's
right,
that's
that's
the
the
real
debate.
debate.
Oh, the good point he made. The good point he made was that Romney wanted to let the oil companies write the energy plan for the country, which is right out of the Cheney and Bush.
I wonder why
Playbook.
everyone's forgotten about BP and the oil spill. It's like
I
that
didn't
doesn't
forget
even
about
come up.
BP.
What are you
Like,
even talking about?
Huh?
You
What?
switched up
I know.
there.
Haven't
that
you
was-
had the shrimp
that was
from the
too
Gulf?
long
They're
ago.
delicious.
Are you worried about dead birds? Why
They've-
would you care about
See,
dead birds?
they've totally got this figured out. They've got it figured out. Like, okay, at so and so months, so many days, so many hours, the people will forget. It'll totally go out
Yeah,
of their
they're banking on
consciousness.
us losing our memories because we have to work so bloody hard, and because they're making life so miserable for us that all we have to think about is just making a living, making it work, and the government, I don't even know who they are. But meantime, they're taking our money big time, gigantically, chunks of it. We can't. can't get above water because since the 70s, our wages have been stagnant, flatlined. But the corporate echelon,
Profits have gone, right.
echelon in the profit business, thanks to Lee Iacocca, who came up with this brainstorm about the CEOs gigantically making this money. And that's been like that since he was in office, and since what was
Since
that, the
Lee
late 70s?
Iacocca was in office?
Yeah.
Lee Iacocca?
I mean, in office in the industry world.
Lee
Oh,
Iacocca.
but
did
look,
this.
the corporations own the government. For sure, they own a lot of the government. They're owned, and they're spanked if they don't behave. I mean, these guys are not playing. We are living in you know what? We're living in the world we feared was going to happen in the 30s, but it's here, and it's been here for a while. And the only way to take it is the cops.
We're living in
understand-
whatever world we choose.
The cops
you know?
understand that
If we
they're working for the wrong people, and then they're killing us.
if we choose to be ignored, and we choose to be lied to, you know, and we choose
lied to. We're
Well,
lied to.
we
We
do.
don't have a choice.
We
It's
do.
happening.
I mean,
What do we do about it is with the
as
concept.
as a whole, we must. Basically, we've spent a lot of shows covering, you know, things that have happened that the United States government has done in other countries. You know, and as far as like lying, we studied Columbus, right, and Howard Zinn, and how in a way the omission of truth is the same thing as a lie. We have been lied
Right,
to,
yeah.
and we continue, you know, and we continue. That's really, in my opinion,
Well, and the
both-
truth is not enough. You need truth.
But it's
force.
also in every
Yeah.
country.
Such
Every
a
country is
problem.
doing that to their own
You
people
can't just
in
be
some
right.
degree.
You've got to be right in a powerful way.
Righteous is the word. I think you're trying to root yourself in truth and valor and beauty and love, and then you look at the world through that perspective, and then all of this anger and BS and lies kind of evaporate. And that's what they mean about the truth.
the sublimity of
Setting
heaven.
you free. Yeah, the sublimity of heaven. Exactly.
See.
That's a very high concept if you think about it, because we live in a planet spinning and circling
How can
the
you
space.
how can
We
you
live in
think-
heavens.
I
We
hate,
are in
I
the
hate to be a
heavens.
stickler, but how can you think about heaven?
This is heaven.
Well, because
life is heaven. We live in heaven. Our plants grow in heaven. We eat in heaven. We make love in heaven. You know. Everything happens in heaven.
if we can't imagine a better
And
world,
that's in the
how are
Bible
we
if
ever
you really
how are we
wanna
ever gonna
know.
how are we ever gonna make a road to get
Imagine's the right word, but not
Yeah.
thinking about heaven. I just don't think it's possible. You can imagine heaven.
there? You can imagine.
Heaven is
You can
basically-
experience it.
Heaven is like a standard for which we attempt to strive towards,
Right.
right? It's like something. It's always something better
Right.
than what we have, and we can.
It probably
think
always
about
will
that.
be, right?
We can always think about.
Yeah, we can
how
al-
things can be better.
Right. Right.
Well, that's you talking about a future projection and positive projection on the way your reality will transform.
Which is,
Yeah.
if you even are talking about heaven as a form of afterlife, that's the same thing. Basically, as an
I'm not,
as
I'm not
afterlife.
talking about the afterlife.
Yeah, no,
I'm
and
talking about
I'm
life.
not really either. But you could talk about heaven here on earth, you know, and how things could be better. Or you could talk about heaven as the afterlife, and that's also like a future projection for some people.
Yeah, it is. Well, yeah, it's a better world.
Yeah.
So you're
Regardless
talking
of
about
whether-
heaven as the after now, not the afterlife. The future, the better future, the after now.
Could be.
Did either person tonight, of the two guys that are going to be on the ballot, did either of them present a vision of the after now of what heaven could be like?
I can tell you, one of them makes me imagine hell after now pretty clearly.
Really, I don't see it that bad. I mean, I
do.
tried to watch without too much bias, and I don't see the big fear around me. Okay, look, I mean, honestly,
Maybe I can help with that.
honestly, I feel safer with Obama, you know. But I didn't.
Physically safer? Less likely to get hit by a drone?
Or a car. No, I mean,
both of
in
them
the
will
same room with them,
probably-
physically safer.
I'm
No,
guessing in 5 years,
No.
regardless of who's president, we will have
No,
a
this-
drone flying outside of River West Radio, regardless.
Yeah,
of
safer, I mean, is that we're not going to enter into World War III.
Yeah.
We're not going to start a war between
That's quick.
Russia, China. Yeah, safer on a world, global, political
But
level.
I'm
I feel safer with Obama.
I'm very concerned about Romney's policy about women and how he perceives families. And I know that, like, based on his record, right? So in the past, he's been about pro-choice and has cared about women, and has flipped the switch, and is just so willing to flip the switch based
Yeah,
on, like,
anything,
Based on-
anything
lunatic
for money and
radicals
power.
on the right.
Yeah.
And anybody who's willing to just bend over for somebody who has an agenda against women is really
He'll
that's
say what he
dangerous.
need. He'll say what he needs to win.
He'll say what he needs to, but he'll also do what he needs to get reelected if he's elected a first time.
Yeah, which is what Obama is doing too, right?
Yeah.
Obama is catering to the middle class. I mean, this is all catering to your moderate
No way to
middle
win
class.
without us.
Us? Are you? I mean, you're probably.
We're all middle class.
Well, I don't know if I would qualify.
Well, you,
I mean,
yeah,
you
would.
might.
You
but-
would. You're a homeowner. You
Yeah.
have a job. You are middle class.
I'd like to
what it
think,
is.
yeah. Well, I'd like to think I am.
Definition.
I am very much average, as
I mean,
far.
you might not see yourself, quote unquote, with those two
No.
words describing you. I agree with that. But as a statistic,
I have a stake in society.
As a statistic,
Right.
you're a middle class.
Right,
person.
I have a stake in the society, and I don't want to, I want to see the society progress in a positive way, you know? I mean, this show is about Armageddon a lot of the times, right? And
Different flavors of Armageddon.
different flavors, yeah.
Amaretto.
Well, there's an Armageddon going on. There's an Armageddon going on in our
Marijuana.
head all the
Chocolate
time.
Sunday Armageddon.
hemp cakes.
Right.
Angel
I'm-
food cake.
Yeah.
Armageddon.
Yeah, no. So neither candidate makes me feel that tomorrow they are really looking towards a heaven style way of.
Well, no, they're realistic. I mean, look,
Yeah.
if one of these guys jumped up on stage and said, you know what we need to do in the next 4 years, I've got a 5-point plan to get us to heaven. I mean, that's, how far is that going to fly, right? These guys got to try and be somewhat
What if
realistic.
you talked about the sublimity of heaven? And then, see, they could learn from Lao Tzu.
Okay,
Maybe we should write them a letter from Lao Tzu.
They should be
And
more
maybe they can
thoughtful.
oh.
maybe learn
yeah.
something about, and then talk about heaven, 5-year plan to heaven. Because but we only need 5 seconds. We're in heaven. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're in heaven. This is heaven.
George,
Instant.
you know what? You're the only one here that's thinking that right now. We're not agreeing.
We do know you love being on the radio.
Yeah. In a sense, I understand what you're saying. You
Wait a
know,
minute, in a sense.
it's what we
I-
make it.
I consider Earth floating in heaven. I don't know what anyone else considers
What
it.
about Felix Baumgarten? Would
Never
you like
heard of
to-
him.
The guy that just jumped out of outer space and landed on Earth?
Oh, he was pretty cool.
was
pretty
he in
nuts.
heaven, free falling in a dead spin?
so what did that prove?
Yeah, man, he was in a deeper heaven.
What
He
exactly
broke
did he
the sound
prove?
barrier.
What kind of suit was he wearing? You can do
Sound
that without burning
barrier.
up?
He broke the
He
sound
was wearing-
barrier.
He basically is wearing a spacesuit.
Uh-huh.
Basically, it was a fantastic Red Bull commercial.
Yeah, that's kind of.
But
that's what
but
I
it was a beautiful
was thinking too.
stunt. It was like Evel Knievel, kiss
Yeah.
my butt. Now you try this.
Yeah, I think
like,
it was
forget
less about Red Bull and more about adrenaline
I just
junkies.
imagine-
I mean, like Red Bull right
How
now
far-
sponsors snowboarders and surfers that ride the
Uh-huh.
biggest waves,
Yeah.
ride the biggest mountains and jump from the highest heights because they are interested in tapping into this culture of
Thrill-seeking.
thrill-seeking adrenaline junkies. And so,
But this had a scientific aspect.
But this sort of
had
was scientific.
Like this is actually gonna help mankind someday.
well, the sound
right?
barrier breaking somehow.
But just that.
That was pretty
He
cool.
lived-
Watching
He
him
lived
float
through.
space.
He lived
through
through
it?
jumping from over.
They thought he might
100,000
melt
feet.
or turn into jelly.
I thought he was gonna
100,000
burn up.
miles,
There was
right?
some uncertainty. There was like
I
some
thought he was
minuscule
gonna burn up
chance
in the atmosphere.
because no one had ever done it. Even though all the equations said he would survive, there was some chance. Well, maybe he'll die.
There's something we don't understand.
Well, but
about
isn't
this
it sort of like why do you need to sail to that other continent? Like you have everything that you need right here. It's like this exploration and
But you
just
know
doing
what? That's
things
a
that man
beautiful
has never done before.
entrepreneurial
That's the
spirit,
point.
though.
Uh-huh.
That's a pioneering spirit. I really love that guy.
Ruben
for
had a
that.
word for this a few months ago. Not spermageddon, but diaspora. What was that word he had?
Panspermia?
Panspermia.
Yeah, I like sperm again.
What,
Is that something you eat
Wow,
or?
that was non sequitorius, baby.
No, it's
that
not
was
a non sequitur because it's the theory that that we are designed to destroy our own planet in order to discover a new one. That if we didn't destroy our own
That's
planet,
such
we
a
wouldn't
lot of crap.
Well, it was on the radio.
Oh.
So what?
It made it past the
Hey,
producer.
So what?
hey,
It
if
was
we
on-
can
I
eat your
got you.
crap, we'll eat their crap
No,
too.
no, no. I mean, that's to
What does
me.
that
To
have to do
me,
with jumping?
to me, that's like
Oh,
a
your theory about how
mental
why-
flatulation.
Your whole theory about why leave this place, this continent, and go across the ocean when this one's perfectly fine. We're kind of designed to want to, shit in our soup and then find a new
No,
pot somewhere.
why would you say that?
Wow, this is like a gastronomic episode here.
Why would you
Shit.
say that?
You don't.
You think that's natural?
It,
No, I
it
think that's
happens
a
again.
psychotic,
It happens
uh,
again and again. Is it just a
It's a
mistake every
psychotic.
time?
It's a psychotic reaction.
You don't think we're
because
programmed?
because of the programming we are under right
I'm
this
talking
minute.
about genetic programming. Genetic. I'm not talking about social.
You can't prove that with genetics.
I know I can.
So why you?
Well, he watched
why-
the documentary, George.
a mockumentary, perhaps, like a Monty Python one, maybe.
It was on YouTube. He can prove it.
It's on Up Yours Tube. Yeah, I saw that already.
Well, why is it that even after we've already fouled the Milwaukee River a couple times in our
Well,
our
don't say
existence?
we. Don't say we. What we should do is let's call a spade a spade.
Uh-huh.
And there is a brand of human on this earth.
Oh, you're gonna blame a portion of us?
It's a
not all of
brand
us?
of human.
Yeah, a brand.
It's
a special, beautiful, kind of strange conglomeration.
But that
perhaps
brand-
genetic
Oh, perhaps.
makeup.
Do you have-
Perhaps
do you have
genetic
proof? Do you have
makeup. Now
proof?
that you say it.
That it might perhaps be
well,
genetic?
I'm sure we could.
What is this brand of human? Wait, I want to hear more about. What's the brand of human?
And they care about three things.
This is a certain type of human.
Power.
We're not.
Money and sex.
Isn't that all of us?
No.
Some of
To
us
the
don't care about
degree-
those things.
To the degree of that they don't care what
Which of
gets
those-
destroyed.
which of those three things
for
don't
them
you
to
care about?
attain. Let me hold on. Let me get an edge in word wise.
A word in edge eyes.
Yeah. People will do anything to get those three goals, and they don't care of the consequence. And that's what I'm saying is that style of person that has that predilection and has that mental focus to destroy everything to get what they want. Those are the people that need to build roads and stop having positions of power.
That's a sociopath.
Yeah,
right? You're
I
gonna
think that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's why we are in this state of angst and self-destruction.
Because we let sociopaths run.
because
the
we
system?
let them. I suppose they have fostered all the courts and all the laws to their favor, slanted in their favor, because they're making so much money and so much power and so much control. And that's what they love, but they're destroying everything in its path. They're like a locust.
That sounds like
They're like locusts.
That sounds like
These
Darwin.
people are like locusts.
That sounds like natural selection.
No, natural selection is not the only thing. It's also the ones that can adapt. Those are the guys that won, not the strongest. The guys who adapted the best.
Oh,
And that's the secret about Darwin. I just figured that out today because I was like, oh man, somebody put that up and it was a quote of Darwin.
Can I slip my same
All right, I'm
edge?
done. I made my
I want
point.
to slip my same edge back into your word wise.
Edgewise.
And I want to ask you a direct question
Wise
based on
words.
your word wise.
Wise words from the edge.
I want to ask, what three things do you want more than money, power, and sex?
Okay, sex is at the top of my list.
I mean, what about the
does
piece?
that-
What?
Then,
Does that make
wait,
you a
let me,
social- okay.
let me answer my...
Go right ahead.
Let me do the flow here now. All right? Okay. Hip hop rules. Remember that. All right, sex,
That's at the top of the pyramid. Okay.
love. Now, a different
What-
kind of love.
what were
Not-
his choices?
Nothing to do with actual sex love. So let me switch that. Love.
Yeah.
All right.
What about?
So, what I consider
about
love is the way the Greeks consider it. Okay, there's like dimensions
Like,
of
talking
love.
about
There's,
man, boy
there's
love?
like
You know what? Sex.
no,
se-
I'm not culture. I'm not talking about culture. I'm not talking about the Greek culture from the old days.
That was the Romans anyway.
No, it was the Greeks too, baby. It was any
Not
ruling
as
class.
openly. But yeah.
Oh no, totally openly.
I have proof of this. I have Greek pottery
Listen,
demonstrating man boy
There's
love.
emperors, but
Intercrural.
I don't want to digress. We will talk about that in a minute.
That means between the thighs.
All right.
No penetration.
I want love, and the way I see love is the way the Greek would say the word agape, which is kind of like a brotherly or a situational love. Like everything is based through a focus of love.
Community is oftentimes what it's
Yeah.
translated to. But
And then Jesus says a lot about this too, and that's why he's kind of famous. And that was his main force, because they actually said that God is kind of like love, is love, because it's so powerful. Because it's more powerful than any emotion there is. And every emotion and every situation kind of evaporates before love's awesomeness. Now, what people think is love might differ. But I want to think of it from the top down. If you take the aerial view, you're looking at the planet and everything going on the planet and everything moving on the planet, the water, the earth spinning, and the poles and the magnetic fields and the beautiful rainfall and the earth and stuff like that. To me, I'm looking down at all that and I'm feeling a great love. I'm feeling this love. That's my concept of what love is. I want to see it nice and beautiful, and I want to see the antelope roam.
Well, that's power.
That's love. to
Now
me,
you're
but
talking power. You want the power to make the world
No, I'm saying
the way
that's
you
my-
want it.
That was my perspective of what love is.
So now it's sex, power, and what was the other one?
Okay. The
the other
last one is
Money.
That's number 3, I guess. He's just reordering them.
water.
Him and a sociopath just want them in different orders.
Darcy didn't talk about money.
No, I didn't mention money because our concept of.
You said the 3 things that all the
Well,
bad.
you asked me 3 things I
No,
want.
but
So
you
I
started-
said sex, love, and then
No, the
the
reason
last
I
thing
brought
I
up
want.
3 things is you said there's a brand of human. We'll have to play back the tape like Obama asked Candy to play
No,
back.
I know what it is.
You said sex, money, and power, right?
Right. Well, no, I said, well, whatever it's in there. That's the 3 of them. I don't know if it's an echelon, but they're all there.
Those are the 3.
That's what makes a sociopath? The desire for sex,
No,
money,
the
power?
desire to get these things and to get it at all
costs. Right. That's the distinction.
Whatever it takes. I don't
Yeah.
care how many people I destroy. I don't care how many rivers I destroy. I don't care how many oceans I destroy.
So
I don't
how
care
many people?
lives.
How many people are
I
you willing to
influence-
destroy for A, sex, B, money, or C, power? And all 3, how many would
Well,
you
I'm not willing to do any of that. So what I'm willing to do
That's
is
why
like
you'll
try to
never rise.
communicate.
That's why you'll never.
Well, no, you could say whatever you want, but I didn't get to my 3rd thing. I also wanted the consciousness of the planet to raise itself above the venial attributes we have been taught to worship. And that's what I want. I mean, I can expound on that if you need me to.
So I'm taking notes here. You want?
Why do you want anything? I mean, wanting is just an expression of power.
Question. I answered this
Desiring
question.
power. If you want anything, you desire the power to have it. Right?
No, he asked me a question. What are
but
the
not
3
at any
things I want?
cost. Not at any cost.
It was a pointed question in response to your point. Because your point was there's a certain brand of human
Right.
who wants sex, money, and power at all costs. And that's the person fouling our soup. Not
Yes,
us.
yes,
I blame us.
exactly.
I blame each of us. I think
Yeah.
we are all part of the problem.
Well, maybe in some respects you are correct, but I am saying the causation of this is not me and you, my friend. We have
you and
been
me?
shat upon.
I disagree. I think I'm part of this shit. I think I generate some foul-smelling stuff.
Yeah, but you're bringing all humanity into it, and it's not you. We're not thinking of.
You're.
For example,
We
the
are not
whole-
sinless.
You guys, the whole
By
issue
any-
of this energy
Wait, say that
policy
again?
problem, right?
Say that again.
So the problem of energy policy in America, right? Like no one that's sitting here right now wants for there to be a pipeline drilled at the cost
No, absolutely not.
of reindeer and people
Absolutely
and
not. It's a-
birds
it's
for
a-
25
it's a
Yeah.
years.
dream.
No one here wants to.
No
No
one
one wants
here
to drink
wants that.
polluted water. No one
And-
here wants to
No,
breathe
and
bad
neither
air.
does Obama or Mitt Romney as
Probably
human
not,
beings.
no.
But who wants that? Like oil companies want that for
Exactly.
for profit. So that is like that's not like we don't
It's
want that as human
sociopathic.
beings.
That's
Yeah,
the last
it's-
straw.
it's-
They're going to destroy my continent, our continent, for their bank accounts.
But we do
This
want
is
we do
treason.
want cheap.
This is treason.
We do want
Right.
cheap. We want to be able to drive
George,
affordably.
you can't.
We're
You
not going
can't
to use
touch.
that energy. We're not going to use that energy. That's the scam.
Right, touch back.
The pipeline is a scam. Are we talking about the pipeline? It's a scam.
Yeah. So, but we do. I mean, what's driving the desire for those profits and also the decision to even do that is because like the American people like a lot of gasoline and very cheaply.
Right.
So we are in a way. I mean, I don't drive.
We do. We don't.
So I'm
Yeah.
not part of the problem.
Yeah. I mean, and we don't want to be. If we had cars that didn't use gas, we would take them in a second.
Yeah,
If we
or-
could turn
or
on a
the
light bulb
expensive-
without using coal, we'd do it. But we don't know how. I mean,
Yes, we do.
We. Well, George knows how to, so he's gonna go home and do
It's
that.
already happening.
on his own,
It's
okay?
already
The rest
happening.
of us don't.
Hey, you have seen
Okay.
Who
It's
Killed
already
the
happening.
Electric-
I don't know what you're talking
Who
about.
killed the electric car, right?
Right.
You've seen that?
Yeah.
So you know that there's batteries out there that exist that could replace fossil fuels. And at this point, it is sort of a greedy, profit-driven thing.
Yeah, there's
Even-
been many
even-
cases
even
of that.
beyond-
There's
even-
been many cases of things being shelved.
Right. Right.
Agreed.
For the priority of
Profit.
profit.
Yep.
Not because it's like what consumers want.
You
Or,
still need to get the
or what society needs.
You still need to generate the electricity somehow.
Yeah, and we do. We go for the easiest fix. I mean, humans do that. They are guilty of going for the easiest short-term thing. We've done it over and over through history. We will chop down all our trees
Humans
to
in
cook
charge.
to cook food. No, not human. I'm talking about peasants. I'm talking about just the people that live in the forest will destroy their forest. It's happened throughout history. Primitive peoples, medieval Europe, they would defecate
But
in the
now
same river
we
they
have
drank
the
from.
technology
That is
that we don't
human
need to do
stupidity.
that
We're
And it's
descended
everywhere,
from
and none of
sociopaths.
us are free of human stupidity.
No.
No, I didn't say we
Don't be
are.
so arrogant.
I didn't say we're free of it.
Well, we're part of the mistake. We're part of the problem. We're part of the
But
issue.
we're working on a solution.
We are. We sure are. I
Have we
hope
done,
so.
have we done
Why
the
does that
emotional
bother
disclaimer
you?
yet?
Why does that bother
Did we
you?
miss the emotional disclaimer that already happened?
Oh yeah, the emotional disclaimer is whatever goes on in this radio, don't take it home. I mean, feelings might get hurt, but it's not. This is radio. We're here as a catharsis. We're gonna let it out, and if we might take shots at each other, but don't. We're not gonna hold any grudges, right? Cheers to that,
Our
guys.
goal is human
I mean, this is what we need. We need hard
The discussions.
battles. Hard, right.
Conversation.
Tough conversations.
We're hurting ourselves so that the listeners can heal.
Right, so they don't have to take it out on their significant other. Take it out on us. Call us up and tell us.
Stone Soup. Here's a number.
Talking
414. What's
To
the rest?
935 2951.
935
29.
Yeah.
51.
Yeah. And of course the other disclaimer that we usually miss.
And if
is-
you're listening on the podcast later, just get in that time machine
Thank
and call
you.
us then.
Yeah, or leave a note. Get a hold of us. I know we don't.
Message in a bottle.
Yeah, that works best. It works better than Facebook. I'll tell you that.
But the technology exists already, Ian. We don't have to invent anything. It's here.
Some technology does exist and probably has been
A
shelved,
lot.
but it doesn't all exist, and you don't have it. You acting like we got it and we can do it tomorrow.
We do have it.
Well, then why don't you make it happen, Mr. Smarty?
Wait a
Mr.
minute. It
Genius.
takes time. It takes effort.
Well,
it
I'm
takes
waiting.
A consortium.
That's what we're doing. We're waiting for
I
you to
can't
do it.
it
then.
on the phone
This
here.
radio show has been going on for a long
I can't
time.
do it on the phone.
This is our
We
20-second radio show, and you still haven't brought us the free energy machine. So stop acting like
It's
you got
already-
it in
you
your
can
back
buy
pocket.
'em. You can buy them on the net. They're in production.
You heard it here first. It's for sale on the
I'm
internet.
telling you.
Well, yeah, no, George has a point, though, that the U.S.
does,
at least
but-
is way behind in technologically speaking as far as our transportation and energy consumption
Yeah.
goes, right? Like,
Yeah.
like it's out there and other
Slaves.
countries are doing it.
Slaves
it
to
costs
the
more.
oil cartel. The oil cartel runs the world, basically. That is the meat and potatoes of the ruling class is the oil energy companies. Provable. I'm not making it up.
Yeah, I'm not. No, we don't think you're making anything up. But yeah, all I'm calling you out on sometimes is your broad blanket statements that edge towards naivety, saying like, "Hey, we could fix the problem tomorrow. We got the
can.
technology."
Why can't we? What's
man,
holding us back?
I don't know. That's why we're
Our
here.
Attitude.
Well, whose attitude now?
The
Now we're
people
getting
in
somewhere.
charge.
Oh, okay. Now you lost it. The attitude is our attitude. You're right.
We make
It's
them
not the
change
people.
by informing them that their attitude is misguided.
Well, we're not making them change by wanting cheap gas.
Speaking of us and them, did you notice the accents tonight in the town hall questioners?
No.
Very, very New York, George.
Oh yeah, was they?
You didn't pick that up?
No, it was. Oh yeah, well,
Mr.
because they were in.
President, I
They
have
were
a
in.
question.
They were in Hempstead. They're in Hempstead. Hempstead used to be a great little city because of that. During World War II, they grew hemp.
That's why it's called
that whole-
Hempstead?
That whole area of Long Island, you can still walk around sometimes and find hemp plants just growing in the weeds everywhere on Long Island, and certain places. Yeah, that's why they call it Hempstead, because that was the hemp
Oh.
capital. Until,
Why is Woodstock called Woodstock?
I have no idea.
Huh. Similar, but maybe.
Why is
Yeah.
Main Street called Main Street? I don't know. Why is Willoughby Street called Willoughby? Probably because there's a guy named Willoughby. But no, all the problems of our society can be disappeared in 10 minutes with our attitude. I mean it. To me, it's like easy. Oh, I'm
Good
doing
news.
something wrong.
There's actually
Let me stop.
There's actually 13 minutes of show left, so we got 3 minutes to spare.
Yeah.
Good.
Why don't you do it for us?
Okay.
Just give us a practical
How to do it,
example
how
of
to
how
do
to
it.
change the world.
All right.
You
Here
know,
we go.
it's like give us a
First thing-
demonstration.
First things first. Everyone has to forgive everyone right away.
Done.
Then we can have a talk and a good cry, perhaps, and a few drinks and get stoned and have a good time for a little while, like
10
maybe
minutes.
a month.
10 minutes? A month now.
Yeah, everybody should have a world party. For
Yeah, I
like
thought
a
this was
month.
5 minutes.
Because we have to enjoy the fact that we have discovered a new perspective on life. That God can form the words out of our mouths instead of some diatribe from some idiot that wrote a book about BS. You know, we could just focus in on the energy that we feel between each other and think of that energy as God itself. So then we focus on that energy. And then we understand that everyone is God and everything is God. And that's, everything. So stop searching for God. You're already there already. You've been there, done that. And that's what Christ was talking about. He says,
let me ask-
dude,
can I ask you a
it's so easy.
I want to ask.
Trying to save the world here, guy.
I know. Well, you did it. 10 minutes are up and you saved the world.
All right.
Now I want to ask you sort of a related question. If you were descended from the original people of North America,
I am.
Native
I
Americans,
am.
the first people, since you are, it's no hypothetical, how would such a person have viewed this presidential debate?
Why would you ask that question? We're trying to save the world. The presidential debate is beside the point now.
I can't get it off my mind.
All right, well, he would just see two men arguing in suits and he wouldn't understand. He would say, dude, where's my peace pipe and my fishing rod? I gotta go
Well,
somewhere.
I think she or he would understand that they don't have that both choices suck, but they would, because people that are subjugated by dominant culture tend to understand that dominant culture.
Okay, but you asked
And
me.
the reason I bring it up, I think it's related, because you say in 10 minutes if we all changed our attitude and you're anti-electricity.
I'm not
You're
anti-electricity.
what are you, anti-fossil fuel?
I'm anti-stupidity. That's the only thing I'm against is stupidity.
But my point being, if we all just changed our attitude and went home tonight and didn't turn on the lights, but went to
You
bed
can
because
conserve. You can conserve is what you're saying. Yeah, you can be economical about the more economical the way we live. We could definitely do with a bit of serious conservation attitude, like don't leave all the lights on for 24 hours,
I wanna
don't
go
leave the
beyond-
windows
I wanna
open
go
with the air
beyond
conditioner on, stuff like that.
I want to go beyond conservation and I want to,
Well, ahead.
live off the land a
give me
little more
some.
directly.
Go for it.
I mean, it's okay to be complicated. It's okay to rely on each other. But I don't think it's not okay to be fighting about China when everything we did during the day came from China and we're complaining about it. But if you're complaining about stuff coming from China, well then,
Don't buy it.
well, not even that. But you gotta, don't buy it, but don't buy anything then, and start taking care of yourself.
If you don't need it, don't buy it. Of course, you don't. There's no fake.
But it's been a long time since we've taken care of ourselves.
what I'm saying.
And it's not because of China.
No, I not blame China for anything. I mean, China deserves whatever they get.
Which is pollution.
Let me be clear. China is not taking care of itself either.
No, China's looking
People are
worse
killing-
than we are.
They're killing their own people, but you know what? They have
Well,
so
I'm not
many
even
people
talking
they
about
don't
their
even
politics.
care.
I'm just talking about literally. We say everything's made in China, but most of the stuff people in China are using was probably made in the Philippines or in America or some. You know, it
Comes from somewhere.
It all comes from
Africa.
far away.
China's raping Africa. You know.
Not only China.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no,
Africa's
I know.
been-
They're
been
just
raped
following in the
since-
footsteps. Yeah.
Since man could,
Yeah.
they've been
So
doing
how are
that.
you in 10 minutes gonna stop this interconnected
No,
web?
well, no. You see, the only thing that could change everything in 10 minutes is an agreed upon consciousness shift.
Agreed upon.
Yeah.
Agreed upon. That's a big word.
I don't
It's
know.
the only way you
I
can
don't
see
think-
how it can be done. That's the only way
We
it
can't
can
even
be done.
decide who to choose as president. How are you going to make
Well, that
these?
whole
How are you
thing
going to
about-
make?
We have to dissolve all countries. All countries
Oh,
have
but
to
you-
be vanished.
How is this easy now? It suddenly got very
Because,
difficult. I mean,
because it's easy because there's only one way to go. We only have one planet. We only have one ocean that surrounds the planet. There's only one river that surrounds the planet. And there's only one atmosphere that surrounds the planet. And we are consciously and willfully destroying the source of life on Earth. So we have to stop that, stop the profit motive, stop destroying it for profit, because you know what? You cannot spend your money in a desert when everything is desert and when you can't drink brown water.
Do you think humans are capable of this kind of consciousness?
Of course.
When
I'm a
it-
human. Why am I so bloody special? I can figure it out, unless they're seriously mentally damaged or spiritually in pain. I mean, there's reasons, you know, but I'm saying anybody can common sense. Common sense. That's what I'm discussing here.
But I'm hinting back toward the panspermia theory now.
I don't know anything about that.
panspermia in which way?
Well, just this idea that I'm not sure, because you mentioned it's not just America. It was Rome. It was people in the forests, and maybe the Native Americans weren't quite as idyllic. And I think this is actually well documented.
People shoot themselves in their foot.
a lot of environmental destruction and civilizational suicide is not just not a new idea. It might be the only idea we've ever had.
But now it's so bad, we have to change that. Because guess what? Collective suicide is not good. It's not a good thing.
It's not collective suicide, it's civilizational suicide.
Well, that's what I mean.
Civilization collapses, but the species survives, and that might be the point. I'm just throwing that out
Well,
there.
Yeah.
that's another
Yeah.
thing about the consciousness.
It's true. It's like what is happening. You know, we go, oh, it's so bad, it's so horrible. But like being born isn't very pleasant either. The whole experience of being born and having to give birth is nasty
Just
business.
ask your mother; she will tell you the details.
So why should the evolution of society be any different? If we're birthing
We
into
are all born between urine and feces.
we are giving, in that case, then we're giving birth to the future right now. And it's a hard row to hoe, and it's like a big deal. It's very hard to understand, and it's very hard to teach. So, but the consciousness is the thing that can teach you. You know, once you understand that you have to look through everything through the eyes of love, then everything you've learned before that vanishes. You have to force yourself to understand anew, and that's the way it works. It's consciousness.
You've pointed to historical figures like Jesus and Muhammad,
Latsu.
Lao Tzu. Can you point to a historical civilization where an entire society of people had this kind of consciousness ever at any point?
Perhaps
Woodstock.
Mesopotamia at some point.
Really good time.
Perhaps Mesopotamia was happy for many years without wars or killing each other. Maybe it started like that.
The Genesis and the Exodus books are a record of Mesopotamia, and they're have you
Well,
read those books?
aspects of Mesopotamia are in those books.
Did
Yes.
those sound peaceful to you? Garden of Eden lasted all of
But-
not
but-
even
but-
6
and
days.
your- and your point about asking me this question, you mean you're talking about humans are unredeemable? Are we doomed? Is that what you're saying?
No, we're not
I don't
doomed. It's
agree
just
with
it's
that.
not so easy.
Yeah,
I didn't say it was
th-
easy.
You know, easy is the
I
wrong
said it
word
was simple.
here.
Yes.
Simple is a bad word too. It's neither. It's neither easy nor simple what's happening.
We're swimming upstream.
All right.
This is-
all right,
this is a
all
very
right, all right,
complex
all right.
issue.
Now we
You
got to
know?
get into the nitty gritty because I was trying to answer the question like in like easy points, but now if you want me to break it down, it's a different story, and I can't do it in a soundbite. Indeed, you are right. And but the consciousness can change overnight because look right now what we're broadcasting in 50 or 100 and 300,000 countries. How many countries we have? If we all broadcast the news about this, like, hey, guess what? Listen, everything you've learned is really invalidated now because of our situation, and our situation is pressing and dire, and we must change or we will die collectively as a planet. We're done. We're baked. We're toast. And if we don't stop it, there's no other alternative. We have to stop it. So everybody can agree on that point. And the whole planet.
No, Mesopotamia was toast, and we emerged out of there burnt.
No, we
Unbuttered,
keep bouncing back from BC
hard,
to
rotten
DC.
Let's see if this.
We keep bouncing back from DC to BC.
DC. Electrical current.
Yeah, it is. It's like alternating.
Yes.
Yeah. I have something. I don't know if this is pertinent or so fit or not, but I was gonna read it just quickly while I have a chance. Are you a showman? Are you a shaman? Can you heal the sick and in turn heal the world? Or is it just a trick? Let's see, a Saturday night shaman plunged deep into the underworld. That's where you'll find a cure. From the mountaintop you are hurled. Take flight. Are you an entertainer or a dragon slayer? Just a charade? Dismembered and then restored. What the problem is the crowd is getting bored. The ecstatic experience suppressed by the priestly hierarchy. The mystery no longer accessible to just anybody. The spirit world condemned and confined. Just plain demonized. Hallucinogens frowned upon. All contact with the higher planes dependent on the establishment. The shaman heals himself and in so doing learns to heal others. The showman tries to create the same ecstatic experience.
As a shaman? Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know. It's just poetry.
Shamans have to be showmen.
Yeah,
that what
in a
you're
sense,
saying?
in a very, in a sense.
In the
they-
Zuni,
they are.
in the Zuni culture, which is cousins of the
It's-
Navajo
it's all a
and
show.
Hopi.
Isn't the debates just a show? What we watched on TV was a show. It doesn't, and I really do believe it. There are differences between Obama and Romney. There's big differences between a lot of candidates that are running, But in the end, the ultimate thing that needs to change isn't a president. And it's like what you're saying. It's not a person. It's not them and us. It's the thing that needs to change is an attitude.
Open our eyes. Open our eyes. Because we
There's-
see without
No,
seeing.
we need to change the structure. Attitude follows structure.
Yeah, well, and right. Attitude follows structure, and structure follows attitude. It's,
Well, the structure's
it's
been
a-
endemic for centuries.
And if we elect
Eons.
Romney, what are we saying? What are we saying to
We're
ourselves?
saying that we're going to kill each other because he's an idiot.
well,
He is insane.
see,
We have pretty low self-esteem. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, thank you. Wow. There you go. We deserve the Antichrist. Yeah. We deserve him because we don't
that's-
deserve
I think that's a
better.
I don't know. if
that
it's
is that's a little out there.
He's an arrogant, unempathetic,
Privileged.
privileged
Everything he is.
CEO
Antichrist.
who's gonna run this country like he runs
A
a business,
company.
which means he's gonna fire everybody and make a profit for a few folks.
He is definitely that person. He's a vulture capitalist, and there's no way around it. And you can see it's obvious in the way he says, "I'm gonna drill. I'm gonna drill. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna."
Then
do
again, when we look at Massachusetts, was Massachusetts that
he-
poorly
when
run?
they
Is that
sent-
what you're? But that was.
Well, that's his
No, he was just
stepping
he was governor
stone
of
too.
an 80% Democratic legislature, and he
Mm-hmm.
did what they wanted. He's flexible. Massachusetts is not his.
And he left.
That's not a
office-
showpiece.
He left
huh?
this. He left office with less than 40%
And
approval.
have you heard their accents? they can barely get the words out of their mouth.
Oh.
Hey, I'm a New
We're
Englander.
sorry to any of our.
I used to live up there. I love New
listeners.
England, man. Cape Cod. I live up on Cape.
I think Ian, you need to follow Romney a little more closely. I think you'd be more afraid of him if you did, because you only plugged in for this.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a vicious person.
Well, he comes off. You know, I mean, honestly, he
I wouldn't
comes
trust
off
him.
as like not that scary.
I wouldn't trust
to
him
me.
with my.
I didn't see through the mask that you guys are telling me he's
You're one
wearing.
of those mythical swing voters. You're like, I'm
not-
gonna
no.
watch this debate and just see how it goes.
Dude, if you vote for Romney, I'm quitting the band. Dude, if you vote for Romney, I'm quitting the band.
No, he might vote for the Libertarian. That's the risk.
I'd
'Cause he
vote for
doesn't-
nobody first,
Yeah.
but I'm
vote for Obama,
I'm secure. Don't
please.
worry, I'm securely in the
Vote-
Obama camp.
Vote
but,
for Obama
but I
because
wanna-
he's a better scumbag than Romney is a complete. He's just the Antichrist to me.
to you. Good. I'm glad you added that. That was healthy.
I'm being real, keeping it real, keeping it real.
Well, hey, that was, you know, I'm really glad we didn't have any searing arguments that like we're have to work out for the next few days. I think we're leaving fairly emotionally unscathed.
And the listeners suffered for it.
And the listeners suffer. Yeah, yeah. We didn't go where they wanted us to go.
They
Yeah.
want us to go somewhere so they can join in.
Yeah.
If we're not going anywhere, they're gonna just not go.
Yeah. And as closing statements,
Do we all get 2 minutes? We all get 2 minutes?
actually, yeah, that'd be great. That would be great. I would love to get 2
I feel
minutes.
like I already had my
You
2
had-
minutes.
yeah, well-
So please, let's
Okay,
talk to,
yeah, let's start with
I'll
Grace.
start it off.
Okay, good.
Candy.
Grace.
If you wouldn't mind.
Candy Grace, here she is.
No, but I do feel like we got a little bit pessimistic in the middle there about the state of human nature and whether we're capable of doing anything other than just polluting our
Shitting in our
rivers.
soup.
Yeah, and also drinking it.
Not in the stone soup. Not in the stone soup, please.
So I would like to offer a stone of optimism and hope. And even though our candidate Obama is not the hopeful gem in the sky that he was 4 years ago, and I don't know if anybody really. Well, people bought that, and it was nice.
They wanted
and
to.
and they wanted to, and people want to. People
They
want
wanted it.
people do like to be good to one another. People
Yeah.
generally don't like to kill each other.
The sublimity of
Unless they-
heaven.
Yeah, like people do grasp that, and I think that because we are still evolving. Evolution didn't stop where it started. That potentially we have the opportunity to evolve to a higher state of consciousness, and so we shouldn't completely just like put that in the river with our pollution. And there's good things happening with the Milwaukee River also.
Yeah, we are too pessimistic sometimes.
So
Yeah.
that's it. Thank you, Candy.
Thank you for the rock.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence, Grace.
Yeah.
Thank you, Candy. I mean, I was also at a somewhat hopeful event last week. Discovery World, the Milwaukee River Keeper had they celebrated the 40th anniversary of the Clean Water Act. And they talked about the after now, the sublime heaven of 40 years from now. And they actually had a list of 40 things. They didn't just talk about sublime heaven and consciousness. They listed the 40 things that would happen to the water that would be good. And then there was a meeting, was it last night? What is today, Wednesday? Last night? Maybe it was
Tuesday.
Today's only Tuesday? Well, then it was last night. Last night there was a meeting at the Gordon Park Pavilion where we talked before about the emotional disclaimer. There were a lot of emotional disclaimers in Gordon Park Pavilion, and people discussed their vision, and the things that interfere with their versions and their visions of serenity. And people talked about this little piece of heaven we have east of River West, the edge of the river, the western edge of the river, so east of us, but not yet across the river. The woods and the bluffs and the trails and the slopes and the seepage areas. There was a lot of discussion.
I thought those were springs.
Well, that You should have been there. It would have been nice to have you there, actually.
Does that have to do with the deep tunnel thing?
But it had to do with
Deep
mountain
tunnel.
bikers and whether.
Oh, seepage. That's,
Yeah, it was
oh,
a discussion of, it was a
seepage
discussion of the
people?
Milwaukee River Greenway Coalition and the Milwaukee River Advocates, and whether we could all get along and agree to hate each other peacefully or just actively,
You're talking about the bikers messing up the trails or something?
That was part of the discussion, and whether it's safe to have bikers and hikers and unleashed dogs. And I mean, the short answer is if people are going to be jerks, nothing's safe, no matter
Yeah.
how they're getting around. But seepage areas are very important because it is something to consider. Which path everyone chooses to walk on is going to affect whether people can walk on it later.
Yeah.
If it's too wet too often, then you're going to ruin it, and it's going to create more erosion, and then you'll lose the whole bluff.
Well,
into the
there
river.
should be bike limitations.
Well, you
perhaps.
should- that was the discussion.
need a
If the bi-
pass?
If the bikers, no, if the bikers are destroying something, it shouldn't be allowed.
Well, you're destroying something when you walk there. Period. So maybe no one should
yeah,
be
but
allowed
there's
there.
less of an influence
it's
for
like,
a foot than
who-
there is for
where-
a wheel.
These things are all very gray, and we have to make up these lines.
Well, then we can
Well, one
make
person made that
trails.
point.
Then we
One-
can make trails
The
like they
person-
used to,
the
like they do in
person-
all the parks.
There was a representative of the Bicycle Federation of Wisconsin who lives in the neighborhood, and her point was it her? Somebody said it. It was probably her. But they said your foot, and it's definitely your 2 feet, if you add them up, are a lot wider than a mountain bike tire.
Yeah. If it was only mountain bikers, it would be it'd be a 2-inch wide track. How about that? No, it's. I'm just saying it's very
But
vague.
they can make a
Very-
trail.
But
Yeah.
you know what? Does that make me
What?
hopeful? The fact that there were people that actually, and I knew some of the backstory. I knew how nasty it had gotten privately, but the public discussion was actually relatively inspired and
Yeah.
inspiring.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But does that make me more or less hopeful? Because it seems like figuring out how to get unleashed dogs and hikers and mountain bikers, all 3 of which love nature to begin with, and all of them hate the pipeline. If we can't even get these 3 people, groups of people, brands of humanity and doganity,
Yeah.
if we can't
They
get-
all love the river. That's the one thing they all share.
and if they can't, if those people can't get along, how can we possibly hope that the people out in the desert in Arizona who want to suck the water out of our Great Lakes, and they're getting to vote for the same president as us? Am I getting too pessimistic?
It's not. Yeah, it's not about them. They do get along, right? They have you were saying they have this common interest of the river, and it's just about when you have to discuss the really mundane details of
The nuts and bolts.
of rule making.
The nuts and bolts.
Then
of
that,
it,
yeah, people have disagreements,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that it's like
No.
the end of the world.
That's the thing is
They'll figure it out.
Right.
They all are getting what they want and having the river.
And that's why most of us agree that we're not in heaven. Okay, if we're on Earth, we are going to be living with conflicts. That's just life is about conflicts.
Yeah, but conflict
You know-
isn't.
Right. It doesn't mean we have
isn't
to kill
devastating.
each other over it.
No.
It never should come to killing. And that's why I say with the drone strikes, I have a friend I argue with incessantly about the need for drone strikes. The drone
The
strikes
guy,
make
that,
us
the guy
safer.
that's flying the drones, that guy? That
No,
friend?
no, I have another
We have a
friend.
friend who's actually flying
Yeah,
the drones.
right.
Is he
right,
ever going
no.
to come on the show?
Yeah, he might.
We'll probably get
See,
him fired or
he's-
arrested.
No,
We'll get him arrested.
I don't think you're allowed to talk about what you do.
Yeah, it's to some extent you can. No, but I do argue that drones do not make the world a safe. Drone attacks do not make the world a safer
That
place.
seems pretty obvious to me.
Well, it's not to a lot of people. To a lot of people, that's
pretty obvious to the people that are being targeted
Yeah.
by the drones. They're not safer.
Yeah, ask
No,
anybody
yeah,
in
it's not.
Pakistan.
Yeah.
Ask anybody in
Yeah.
Pakistan about
once you
the
let
drone.
the robots start killing humans,
Yeah.
That's Terminator world. That's living in the Terminator world.
And the idea, yeah, and
You
the
ever see
idea is that
Terminator?
if we let conflicts
you're
get to
living.
that point where we need to kill people, we've already lost.
Well,
why did
we
no
need
one
to
ask-
change.
Why
That's
did no one ask that question? Why did no one ask how many people dying by drones is too many? And the only correct
Yeah.
answer to that question is 1. But I wonder what Romney and Obama, what number they would have put on of how many people is an acceptable amount per
Oh,
year.
What is
died
the
to
acceptable?
one of those
Yeah, you
Al-Qaeda
should-
Any
that should be a
number,
good question.
if they've attacked Americans, any number is fine by their standards.
Yeah, well, we're back to they. Who's they attacked Americans? Because they can justify an attack on a
people who have
on
not
a
been
wedding.
blessed by consciousness.
All right, you guys, we're supposed to be ending on an optimistic
All right.
note.
Well, let's let George
So-
go. George, give us whatever you got. Let it fly. Let it fly.
War is obsolete. It's been obsolete for perhaps, since BC times, but, it's starting to get on my nerves. War is killing everything, and the attitude towards life is like everything is war. I mean, Bobby Marley said it a few years back, you know, everything is war. It's ridiculous. So once we unfocus on war and refocus on love, it will change immediately, like a light bulb going on in a dark room. And that's my contention about the switch of consciousness. That's all you need to do. And listen, you know, we all live in this world. We all can't piss in the sink, okay? We have to do these things in a nice way. There's dry toilets we can develop. We have
That's part
new
of your
solar-
technology
We have
plan,
new
right?
solar cells
The
that are
5-point technology plan.
1,000 times more efficient than the kind we used to have in the 60s. And we have wind technology that's like designed that you don't even need a propeller. It's just a rod. And the technology exists for free energy. The technology exists for water purification. The technology exists for electric cars and solar power. We have enough power in the desert of Arizona to power the entire country with 8 hours. We could power the whole country for a year. We are not focusing on what we can do. We're only focusing on what we don't want to do, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because we're just killing each other for nothing. Where are you going to spend that money? When everything is a desert and all the oceans and rivers are brown, you can't spend money when you can't drink money, you can't eat gold. It's all a waste of money. And I mean, the yellow metal that drives the Wasichu crazy. The yellow
So
metal.
for next week, we'll study
killing us.
specific examples of what could
Stop it.
change.
Yeah.
What could change.
Stop it.
Yeah, that
okay.
was that,
Yeah. Okay.
that was
so
that
we'll
was
just-
well said though, George.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you.
you're right, because the means are there. If we really put our concerted collective effort,
Humans can do any
developing
fracking
energy.
thing we want. Look what we've done.
I agree.
Look what we've done. We're taking pictures of caves on Mars, man. Give me a break. We can do anything we bloody freaking
We
want.
can jump. We can go supersonic without any propulsion, right? That's what that guy did.
Yeah, because he just went.
Oh, he jumped off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
know
what
what?
Red Bull has shown us.
That's a good idea because if we wanted to get rid of the nuclear waste and send it to the sun, that would be a good way to make it go up in the sky and then turn the
balloon,
rocket
huh?
on and get rid of the
Isn't
nuclear
the sun?
waste.
Isn't the sun already nuclear waste? Isn't that what it is?
Just send
Yeah.
it right back.
No, but the sun by definition is a nuclear ball of
It's
fire.
a
floating
gigantic,
But it's fusion
super
as
gigantic
opposed to
reactor.
fission. Yeah.
It's big.
that there's a big
it's
difference,
big. Well, it's.
right.
But I'm just saying that's where the nuclear waste could go.
I should have asked. You think Obama and Romney are they pro fusion or fission?
Yeah,
I
they
wa-
didn't even cover that.
course
What
not.
Yeah,
what
why?
a flaw.
If you
I
want to
mean,
know why,
What a
because
hole.
You know who owns that debate company? It's a joint company owned by the Republicans
It is a
and
fix.
Democrats.
It's a fix,
And
eh?
there's no third parties allowed.
Yeah.
This thing is so.
Now we're getting
tightly-
somewhere.
It's
We're fine.
tightly nailed down.
See, now the show's over and we're finally getting somewhere.
No, but
All
that's
right.
true. It's a fixed horse race,
I have
and all
a-
those questions were pre-approved.
I have a 5-second
Okay.
path to
All right.
third parties. Ranked order preference voting. That's all we need. If we
That's
get
the way.
that,
Yeah.
We get ranked order preference voting. Everything else will follow.
All right, and move to amend. Those are things to look up for next
Citizens
week.
United has to end.
Yeah, that too.
All right.
We have to end the money.
Well,
$5 is the campaign limit.
I saved the
no,
best
we should
music.
have public finance campaigns. I think, right?
All right.
I saved the best music
And-
for myself.
And the election and the
the
election
lights are
should-
going down, and I didn't get my 2 minutes, George.
Take
All right.
Take 2 minutes.
Here we go. Just as the cult of patriotism teaches us today that the individual has to die for the family has to die for the village has to die for the district, and the district for the province, and the province for the country, so a country has to be free in order that it may die, if necessary, for the benefit of the world. Political power means capacity to regulate national life through national representatives. If national life becomes so perfect as to become self-regulated, representation becomes unnecessary. There is then a state of enlightened anarchy. In such a state, everyone is his own ruler. He rules himself in such a manner that he is never a hindrance to his neighbor. In the ideal state, therefore, there is no political power because there is no state. But the ideal is never fully realized in life. Hence the classical statement of Thoreau, that the government is best which governs least. Those words by
Benjamin Franklin or Jefferson? I can't remember.
Gandhi.
It's gotta be post Thoreau.
Nice.
Yeah,
I was gonna guess.
that was Gandhi quoting Thoreau. What a crazy world we live in, huh?
Peace, love, and consciousness.
All right, and here's one other piece of homework. I mean,
And don't be afraid to achieve peace, love, and
No.
consciousness through voting.
yeah,
Vote for Obama,
vote.
please. Do us a favor, not the Romulan.
And watch the sky. Watch the sky.
There's a great media shower this
Yeah.
weekend.
And wish for a better world where
There's
you
a
can
great-
vote for who you really want and then rank Obama second.
There's a
That's
great-
what ranked order preference will allow you to vote against
Huh.
Romney and still vote for who you really want.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ranked ordered preference.
Gotta define
Okay.
that next time because
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, we need to start getting these ideas out there.
But there is a media shower this weekend for 2 or 3 days. A very nice one. I can't remember the name of it, but it's here.
All right. Excellent.
Stone Soup
Yeah.
signing off.
Happy Tuesday.
Throw your rock and nothing else in the pot.
Yeah.